I walked here yesterday. I walked here Saturday.
Yeah. I was ready to do this.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for September 17th is now in session. I'm going to ask Charles Miley, one of our trustees from County, Brown Township, to come and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
George front of you? Fine.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Welcome, everyone. This is something we really look forward to every year. It's an annual tradition as far as us coming out here and having our meeting on Monday during the fair. And I appreciate everybody being here today. I'm Gary Merrill, I'm president of the board. To my left is Vice President Barb Lewis. And to Barb's left is fellow Commissioner Jeff Benton. Our clerk today is Jennifer Walraven, and Mike Farmer, our administrator. With that, let's begin.
Resolution number 18-1005, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held September 13th, 2018, and special meeting held September 5th and September 14th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1005. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis? Aye. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment or elected official comment today, so that brings us to item number 4, resolution number 18-1006. In the matter of approving a resolution honoring the 34th Little Brown Jug 2018 Joseph Neville Award winners.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Director of Communications. We have before you a resolution honoring the late Bill Cawley and the late Gary King as this year's recipients of the Joseph Neville Awards, and we recommend your approval.
I'm going to have Commissioner Benton read the proclamation in just a moment. Is there any other comments before we read it? Okay, let's go ahead and read it.
Yeah, I'd be glad to read this for the 2018 Joseph Neville Award recipients. Whereas Little Brown Jug Joseph Neville Award recipients are chosen and inducted by a panel of international harness racing enthusiasts each year, and whereas this year's Joseph Neville Awards are awarded posthumously to Bill Cawley and Gary King, and whereas William Bill Cawley, for more than 20 years, worked in the log cabin, was an active supporter of the Delaware County Fair and the Little Brown Jug, and whereas Gary King, a lifelong horseman and active 4-H club supporter, was best known to fair attendees as the Stall Man, and, along with his wife Debbie, announced the all-horse parade from the Liberty Street location. And whereas many of the more than 204,500 residents living in Delaware County support the Delaware County Fair and the Little Brown Jug circuit and enjoy their days at the races. Now therefore be it resolved that the Delaware County Board of Commissioners honors and applauds Bill Cawley and Gary King for their exemplary careers in the field of horse racing. The presentation of this proclamation.
With that, let's vote.
Vote on motion 18-1006. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1007, in the matter of approving a resolution honoring the 34th Little Brown Jug Wall of Fame recipient.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
We have before you the second resolution that we annually provide. This one is honoring the Wall of Fame recipient, and this year it is Ron Pierce. We recommend your approval.
And I'm honored to read the resolution for Ron Pierce. Whereas a Little Brown Jug Wall of Fame recipient is chosen and inducted by a panel of international harness racing enthusiasts each year. And whereas 4-time Little Brown Jug champion driver Ron Pierce has been selected as the 34th Little Brown Jug Wall of Fame honoree by the Delaware County Fair. And whereas Pierce scored back-to-back jug wins in 1998, and 1999 with Shady Character and the Triple Crown winner Blissful Hall. He returned to the Judge Winner's Circle in 2004 with Times Are Changing, and in 2009 with Well Said. And whereas Pierce, a native of California, owns an impressive universal driver's rating of .417 and 49 Little Brown Jug stars, and ranks second in jug earnings with 1.7 million. And whereas Pierce's 42 career wins in the Delaware County Fair, 34 of them came in stakes competition, including 13 in the Little Brown Jug and 9 in the Standard Breast. And whereas Pierce retired from racing with 9,570 career wins, $215 million in earnings, and was enshrined into the Harness Racing Hall of Fame in Goshen, New York in 2005. Whereas many of the more than 204,500 residents living in Delaware County support the Delaware County Fair and the Little Brown Jug Circuit and enjoy their days at the races. Now therefore be it resolved that the Delaware County Board of Commissioners honors and applauds Ron Pierce for his exemplary career in the field of horse racing with the presentation of this proclamation. With that, let's vote.
Vote on motion 18-1007. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
That brings us to item number 6, which is a juvenile probate court. Judge David Emanowski, Recorder Melissa Jordan, and County Clerk of Court Natalie Frable with a presentation on Good Deeds Outreach.
Hello, thank you for having us today. I approached Judge Hemanowski and Clerk Natalie Frable recently about a program that I learned about from other county recorders when they were partnering with the same entities in their counties. Essentially what it is an outreach program that informs the public of the importance of putting your land records and your titled vehicles in survivorship deeds so you can avoid probate. And our plan is to, and I reached out to them, they agreed, and I was delighted that they did so because it's an important program. A lot of people don't realize how difficult probate can be for surviving family members. So essentially what it will do is we will hold different meetings in different parts of the county and give them information about the program. We'll be there, my office will be there simply providing the deeds. We're physically going to have the equipment available to print off the deed for the individual as they walk in. And then Judge Hemanowski will discuss the importance of avoiding probate and how to do so from his perspective. And Clerk Frable will do the same because I don't think most people realize all titled vehicles, including ATVs and boats, will send you to probate if you don't have them in survivorship, and certainly real property is no exception. So we plan to do that, present essentially why it's important, and then actually through collaboration with the local bar association have local attorneys who have expertise in this area available for free consultations with the public. And then for a flat fee of $100, if the public so desires, they can then engage that attorney to rewrite those deeds for them. And so that's kind of an overview of the process, and we plan to do it in different locations throughout the county to make it accessible to entities in those regions. And essentially that's what the program is, what the Good Deeds program is about. But I'll turn it over to Judge Hemanowski for his perspective.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
I suppose it's not often that you have a public official come before you and tell you that they don't want people to come and see them, but that's what we're here talking about today. I think all of you know my dad passed away last month, and one of the things that my mom and I had talked about beforehand and that we knew we had lined up was that everything was in place, that she will not have to pursue the probate process at all in Florida with Dad's estate. Everything is set to transfer automatically to her upon his passing. And I think there are a good number of folks who simply don't understand that that process is available to them, don't understand what they need to do to avoid the probate process. Coming through, even to get a title transfer, to get a motor vehicle title transfer can be an expensive and time-consuming and confusing process for folks. And so we just want to make sure that people are aware of how they can avoid that process, and that they've done the work necessary to make sure that what is already a very difficult time in their lives when someone passes is not made more difficult by what they need to do in court. We're here today really just to make sure that you all are aware and to ask for your support, and to ask for your support in part by volunteering, say, Jane, to assist us in getting the word out about this program as it moves forward. We do not have a formal date set for the first of these, but it will likely be sometime in November. We'll have that soon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. My staff and I are anxiously awaiting this. For 17 years, I've heard people, really look at me funny. Well, I have a will. Isn't that enough? And usually, a lot of times it is enough, but there's a lot of things that you can do to avoid probating that will. And we joked about this in our meetings. We're trying to decrease Judge Hemanowski's workload, but I met with Jane Hawes.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he's okay with that. But I met with Jane Hawes, and she was very gracious in offering her help with our PR and getting the word out. We just want to educate our residents and let them know that there's a lot we can help them do to avoid the journey through probate court. So we thank you for your support.
Very good. Is there any comments or questions?
Yeah, first of all, I want to applaud the three of you, but I think the three of you are the ones who would be involved in this process in different roles. But so I want to thank you for working together and figuring out a way to make it easier, on families.
Direct your thanks to Recorder Jordan, because she's her idea, she got this process started.
Yeah. Well, so again, thank you all for working on this. Are there other counties that have already done this then?
Yes, there are. So initially, when I was first learning about it, I was picking the brain of other recorders who had done it. Geauga's done it, Summit, Lorraine, and I would talk to them and just understand how it was working before I would reach out to these two. And I had to commend our entire elected official roster here in Delaware County, because a lot of other counties have difficulty collaborating with other office holders. And I gotta say, I have not experienced that in the least during my time in office, and this is no exception. So I picked the brains of other recorders, how they did it. It's a very well-attended and well-received event in those counties. Of course, it grows as word spreads every event that they have, but 200, 300, 400 people attending in a similarly sized county, that's a win when you're preventing people from going to probate. So that's essentially how I learned about it. And there might be a few other counties that are doing it, but those are the main three that I reached out to.
Great. And again, I think it's great that we publicize it clearly, because people just aren't going to know the advantages, the process, who to contact, whom to contact, et cetera. So Jane can work with the three of you and figure out a publicity campaign to make this prevalent in our county. And that's great. Congratulations. Thanks to all of you for working on this and collaborating. Again, we have great elected officials in this county, and great you demonstrate that. So thank you all.
You're welcome. Anybody else have questions?
Yes. First of all, thank you too for all the collaboration. It's great. And as you say, we all did a lot. It's wonderful. We all work together, and as we should for our citizens. But could you tell me just a little bit about what does someone do? For instance, if I want to do this, where do I go, and then what would I do?
So outside of this outreach program, what you would do is get a copy of your deed from my office with respect to real property, and of course you can access your other titled documents through her office. But what you would do is you would look at that deed, and and most deeds today, when property lawyers are preparing those, should be written in a survivorship way, so you can avoid probate, but not all of them are. And some of the older deeds are not. So some of the populations that are going to be most vulnerable to this are those folks who might have an older deed. Lucky for us, we're also collaborating with the Board of Elections. They're able to sort and filter kind of different demographics for us to try to target at least some mailings, perhaps. We're still working that out. But you would see if your deed is already in survivorship. If it is, you're good. If it's not, you would contact an attorney who has some significant experience in property law to help you rewrite that into survivorship, and then you could refile it with my office.
My wife and I bought our first home back in 2002 here in the city of Delaware. Went to the closing, everything taken care of, left thinking everything was set. A few weeks later, our deed arrived in the mail, and it was a general warranty deed. It was not a survivorship deed. And happened to be working at the prosecutor's office at the time and doing title searches for tax foreclosures, and I knew what that meant. And I called the title office and said, hey, we're a married couple, this should be a survivorship deed. And they said, oh, no problem, and we recorded it. But the average person would see that, the general warranty deed across the top, it's filed, it's stamped at the recorder's office, they would have no reason to think twice about that. And so, until something then happened, and they needed to transfer that deed upon one spouse's death, and they were unable to do so then without coming through the formal probate process. So, we're trying to save folks that.
Okay, so this expands then from just land, in other words, from property to, you mentioned cars.
You want to talk about vehicles?
So with your vehicle title, your watercraft title, any recreational vehicles that you own, a motorhome, a travel trailer, a quad, anything like that, anything that's titled, even if it's in two names, you go to a dealership and you buy a vehicle and you sit down with the finance person and you say, I want to put this vehicle in both names so we're protected. No. Survivorship is not assumed or implied on a vehicle or watercraft title. You have to specifically state and sign for survivorship. So if something were to happen to either one of the owners, it would have to be probated if those owners are not married, and depending on the value of the vehicle. If it's a recreational vehicle, it automatically goes through probate. So survivorship has to be flagged right on the face of the title for anything basically. So, yeah, so it's just an education process.
Sure.
And people assume that just if it's in two names, everything's okay. It's not.
Boy, thanks, great program, thank you.
Thank you. And when I first heard the title, Good Deeds, the first thing that came to my mind was, doing some service in the community. So, very clever name, and I think it's certainly appropriate. I'm going to guess it's probably a bigger issue with automobiles than it is with homes, because people really don't know how to do that, or
It's more frequent. It's more frequent with vehicles and boats, and really the recreational vehicles are what we're most concerned about. Ohio law allows a surviving spouse to transfer vehicle titles for primary vehicles, your everyday use vehicles, up to a value of $65,000. Today's vehicle prices, if you've been vehicle shopping, that's a reasonable price for a vehicle these days. So it's really important to educate our residents. Make sure you protect everything, and at the time of purchase.
One last statement, this is not something to do in lieu of a will. This is just something to kind of clean up things, just so there's no misunderstanding.
Correct.
Is that correct, Judge?
Still absolutely want to have a will. Everybody should have a will.
Absolutely.
So, if there's no other comments, I just want to say, I'm not sure we got all the names correct when you spoke, so I just say, Melissa Jordan, our county recorder, Judge Simonowski, our juvenile probate judge, and our
Natalie
Fravel, thank you. Thank you very much for being here today and helping us, and appreciate it very much. Look forward to the program.
Thank you.
Hope so.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
Proceed.
Resolution number 18-1008, in the matter of approving purchase orders, unannounced certificates, and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0914.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1008. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1009, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1009. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1010, in the matter of accepting and approving the Delaware County Sheriff's Office transfer report for the month of August 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1010. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1011, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-1011. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 181012, in the matter of scheduling a special session on Monday, September 24th, 2018, at 11 a.m. to form a joint board with the Licking County Board of Commissioners to address the Gorsuch Joint County Number 588 Drainage Petition Project filed by Harlan Township Board of Trustees.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-1012. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1013, in the matter of approving a service agreement with Tactic Company to provide water information management solution software, licenses, installation, training, and support for the monitoring of SCAD information at the Allen Creek Water Reclamation Facility, Olentangy Environmental Control Center, and the Lower Scioto Water Reclamation Facility.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion,
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. This contract is for installation and training of a software called WIMS, which basically what this does is it integrates with our SCADA at all of our major treatment plants, and it is going to be used by our operators for process control. Right now, we currently operate by hand writing down the data and then putting it into Excel spreadsheets to do our process control that way. This is really a way to kind of get up with the times and for our operators to be able to use the current technology that's available to be able to control the plants that way. So we recommend your approval of this contract.
questions or comments, vote.
Vote on motion 18-1013. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number
Thank you.
18-1014, in the matter of appointments of reappointment to the Delaware County Transit Board.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion,
Good morning, Commissioners. Jay Hawes, Communications Director. This is for the Delaware County Transit Board, and once again, we received many excellent applications for these positions that were open. We recommend you appointing Becky Cornett and Frederick Johnson to the 2 available seats, and then reappointing Merlin Sheets to the board.
questions or comments?
I would like to just echo Jane's comments that we received some outstanding candidates, and it was very good to see such interest in Databus, which is a very important part of our community, and I know they're working on a strategic plan to figure out how they go forward to be an effective, efficient organization providing public transit. So these seats are very important. They're going to be very busy and doing some really interesting work to map out Data's future direction. So I want to thank all 3 and all the folks who applied.
The only thing I'd add to that is not only quality, but also we have a large number, and it's always good to have people in our county who have an interest in the things going on in our county, want to be active participants. So I thank all the people that applied, and I do feel we got 3 very good people that are going to be serving us on that board, and we appreciate that. Any other comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1014. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-1015, in the matter of accepting promotional items for the Delaware County Fair on behalf of the Delaware County Prosecutor's Office Victim Services Unit.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Julie Dacko with the Delaware County Prosecutor's Office. The Delaware County Prosecutor's Office of Victim Services has a booth at the Delaware County Fair. It operates as an informational and community outreach booth. We are requesting permission to give away items donated to help spread the word and draw people into our booth to learn about the services we provide. This year, we would like to give away items donated by minor and Fort Myers residents.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 18-1015. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
That brings us to administrator reports.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Mr. Lewis?
I went to the Delaware Morrow Mental Health and Recovery Open House Thursday evening. Actually, Commissioner Benton was there too. And they have refurbished their offices and looks really nice. So it was good. Saw a lot of different people there from the city of Delaware and then others who are active on the mental health board too. So good job to them for working hard and repainting and getting their offices up to shape. And that's it.
Just a couple other things. I went to the Parade of Homes yesterday, I guess it was, or Saturday, and there were only 7 homes, but they were all $1 million homes. I mean, it was incredible. It was very nice. It was in Union County, which we like Union County, but next year we'll be back in Delaware County.
Where it belongs.
Where it belongs. Where it has been most of the past decade, I think. I wanted to mention the Farm Science Review. I'm going to that tomorrow for lunch. And meet with some of the statewide leaders there. A lot going on in that industry, and it's always great to see them up close. As we all know, the Little Brown Jug is Thursday. I think it's 73rd running of the Little Brown Jug, and this is Delaware's Day in the Sun. It looks like it will be sunny and high in the 80s, I think mid-80s, so maybe even a little warm. We've got the Point, Otterbine's Economic Development Office is celebrating their grand opening on Friday, and that's a collaboration with the City of Westerville and Chase Bank. I want to congratulate them, and I understand they're full, and all their spaces are spoken for. So it's certainly good for Westerville and Otterbein, and it's good for our region that they're doing so well and have a good program set up. Lastly, I think all 3 of us will be at the Vets Dinner on Friday. And that's always a great event honoring our vets and Friday evening. So that's all I got.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make a guess. Don probably gets 5th or 6th year for that event. I think I've gone every year, and it's a great event, and veterans turn out for it, and look forward to it. You mentioned Otterbein. We talked about this last Thursday. You two had already met Don Clemens, the president of Otterbein. I had the honor of meeting him Friday. Very impressed. Seems like an outstanding hire. They're going to be very pleased with his vision taking forward, and look forward to having an opportunity to work with him.
Yeah, he is a Delaware County resident.
He is?
Yeah.
He's building a house.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's true. But I think he'd be a great partner for the county and provide leadership for Westville.
And I
Great.
think Lewis knows this already. Didn't you know about that?
Yes, he is. Yes. Well, and President Comerford too reached out to all of us and wanted to meet with us. He just came aboard. He's the new president of Otterbein, and he really wants to open up the avenues of communication. And I thought that was really great because some of our residents can benefit from the programs that Otterbein is having. It's very hands-on, work-related, a lot of internships, and this entrepreneurial center, the Point, their opening, the grand opening is this Friday, as Commissioner Benton mentioned. So it's something, a partnership that will benefit both of us, but I was also very impressed with it.
And one could say, well, Otterbein's not in our county, but it's on the fringe of our county, and there's a lot of opportunities for us to work for educational organizations like Otterbein and Ohio Wesleyan, et cetera, on the state. So, he's very excited about working with us. He's going to be part of our county, and for him to reach out, I think says a lot about what his plans are in working with us. So, but technically, yes, Otterbein's not our county, we know that, but just barely. And it is part of Westerville, and part of Westerville is in our county. A few other things, I have regional planning executive Wednesday morning. Have Morpsey leadership on Wednesday lunch, and Morpsey policy on Thursday, which means I'll be a little late for the Brown Jug, but I will be there. And then, of course, as I already mentioned about the Veterans Dinner, and I have CCO board meeting and Area 7 Council 9 meeting on Friday. So
but
And one of the issues.
I guess I have that too, right, on issue 1.
Anything else before us today? I don't think we have need for executive session. I want to thank everybody that's here today. Thanks for coming out. We have a great fair. I hope everybody has time to enjoy it, and we'll see you this time next year.
The weather's nice too.
Okay. We are adjourned.